What's up guys, Brian here from Giant Travels by Van. Today I'll show how I painted and installed my cabinets. Welcome back to Giant Travels by Van. Don't forget to enter in the comments if you think you know where the inspiration for today's intro came from. Let's jump right in to painting and installing my cabinets. The day after I glued my cabinet together, it was time to prime it. So I masked off the lower shelf that had the Formica top, and I hit it with a can of Kills Original that they had on special at Home Depot. You should be aware that after you prime any bare wood like this, it will raise the grain somewhat. So if you want to achieve a really good finish, you should actually sand it after the priming, and then perhaps consider priming it a second time to lock it in like that for a good smooth finish. On the front side here, you can see I had masked off the Lagoon table mount, and although you can't make it out here, I had masked off the surfaces of the sides that would be supporting the countertop where I wanted to be able to glue it down on there, so I didn't paint those areas so that I'd get a better glue up. I didn't mask off the kerfs or the slots for the plastic T molding that I'd be inserting, but I did try and avoid spraying down into them any more than just a light overspray would happen when I was getting the front pieces that I was concerned with. I also primed the wall skin that I'd created so that I could finish paint it after it dried. The painting actually took 2 days, as I had to flip the cabinet over and paint the other side the following day. And I wound up putting 3 coats of bare paint on using my compressor and an inexpensive sprayer from Harbor Freight that I found works very well if you just thin out the bare premium with about 5% water. It sprays very nicely. After the paint dried well, it was time to assemble the T molding, and I found that the nails that I had driven in with my air nailer to hold the assembly while it was gluing were interfering with where the T would go down in the T-slot kerf, and so I just notched around those nails to be able to drive those in, and then trimmed the ends with the safety knife. Home Depot sells a product called a white polywall panel, which is about 1/8 inch thick flexible plastic that's pretty durable. I bought a sheet of that and cut some sections in order to skin over the aluminum foil backed insulation that I'd put up around the curve near the ceiling. So this would make sure that heat wouldn't let the glue release and have that foil backed insulation fall off there. So I put in some sheet metal screws to hold that polywall plastic up against and hold the insulation well to the wall. It was now time to do a test fit of the cabinet, so here's a view from the back door looking at it, mounted up against the wall, and then at a 45-degree angle here. Here's a look at it from the front. This is the view that I would have while sitting across from it in the seating area, and then a wider view showing the countertop coming up towards the side door, and then the upper storage area. I still had to close in the front part of this where all the wiring comes in, but as I mentioned before, I decided to do that after building the cabinet. I'd be able to close this in. Here's a view from right behind the driver's seat looking towards the back door, so you can see how much room there is still to maneuver. And then lastly, a view from the floor here showing how there would still be room for my brother's legs. Someone sleeping on the floor would give plenty of clearance. I was anxious to test the Lagoon table mount in it, so I inserted that. I still needed to make a countertop, but I wanted to wait until now so I could see the exact kind of maximum size that I could gain using it, because you can see that I can swing it both to the left and then here to the right. So if I can come up with the maximum countertop that I can put on it and still achieve these angles, then I'll have my goal of being able to use it, put things on it, and swing it out of the way to stand up and get out of the van, either towards the back or the front, either way. And lastly, here's a off angle from the passenger side door, looking at the entire installation here. So I was happy with how the cabinet came out. It should be pretty durable, serviceable. It accomplished all the goals of having closed-in openings for storage, room for the drawer that I still need to build, a mount for the lagoon table, and kind of the curved countertop, trying to maximize counter space without encroaching too much in the area to be able to move around inside the van. So all in all, I was very happy with how it came out. All right, thanks for watching today. For those wondering about the inspiration for today's intro, that came from Android Authority, where you can keep up on all things about Android phones and tablets. See you soon. What's up, guys? Brian right here from Giant Travels. Yeah. What's up, guys? Brian here from Giant Travels by Van. Yes, I could say that better. What's up, guys? Brian here from Giant Travels by Van. Today I'll show how I painted and installed my cabinets. Welcome back to Giant Travels by Van. Don't forget,